So Game Boy Pocket Dimension motherboard, but with the components of the Game Boy Color. So the Game Boy Pocket didn't have color; all it was black and white.
Right.
And these parts gives the form factor of Pocket smaller, but this board here is a DC driver board. This white component with the parts on top. And so I'm going to attach the BlackBerry screen to this with a lithium rechargeable battery.
Okay. So BlackBerry, like the old phone, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have a few. Here's one. Oh, cool. So there's no BlackBerry screen that will fit attached, and I still have to wire the driver board from the original pin out.
Nice.
So Game Boy Colors.
Right? Yeah, dude, this is really cool. He was showing me, the things that he had on his Instagram. It's legit.
But that one?
Or not this one?
No, one. That one is not in good shape. Not playable. Any progress on what? Well, the N64 works. We're down to our last two controllers because people can't seem to coach their children how to not destroy my shit. Yeah.
So this is a lithium driver board.
Okay.
Nothing a whole lot special about it.
Lithium driver board is what you said?
Basically, it controls 3.7 volts nominal output, and then drops it down to, I want to say it's 3.2 or 3.1 volts.
Yeah, it'd be roughly around there by standard.
Yeah. USB, I think it only accepts 5 volts in. So this also has a component to drop down that 5 volts down to 3 and some change.
Right on.
This wires, we'll wire this up to here. Probably super glue it somewhere around the center.
Yeah.
Wire something like this.
Right on.
I still got to tinker around with it. It's not the first one I built. I built a few of these, but each one's a little bit different of a build. These are all like my doohickeys. I have some 3D printed parts for some of the older Game Boys that cracked shells and whatnot.
Right.
Some spare buttons. This is just a box of junk parts that, maybe I can salvage. A little bit of a hoarder when it comes to...
But you kind of have to be with electronics kids, though. Yeah. It's like, it checks out.
All of it. And then the rest of these are all like tools, batteries. And
yeah. Can I get a little tool tour, actually? I feel like that'd be really helpful. Yeah. I noticed your iFixit kit, which, nice.
So this was a dissection kit from undergrad.
Nice.
And it still works. The scalpel, the tweezers and whatnot, they're all great. These came with the iFixit kit, these plastic.
Right. Little picks and...
But all the rest are from the dissection kit.
Makes use of it, though.
Right. This is solder wick.
Right.
Solder wick.
Not at all. There's buttons on the bottom that say free play, and you just click those.
So chip wick is it's a viscous kind of oil, and it lowers melting point of the solder.
Right.
A lot of for these older boards and components, they're so old, you really just want to kiss it with just as little temperature as possible.
Right.
Lowering melting point.
You can burn them really easily.
Yeah. This is a
solder vacuum.
Yep.
Nice one too.
It's cheap as hell, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Man, mine's probably cheaper.
It was $7 on Amazon.
Yeah. I probably got mine in a part of a kit that was $7.
Oh, yeah. Multimeter.
Of course. And this is one that you don't really want to spend that much of an expense on, I would reckon. It's probably a good tool.
So I have a cheap one, and this is when I'm inside these machines and I'm like trying to get into a nook and cranny.
Yeah.
So this is just one I have in my hand. It doesn't have all the same features. So it's just like continuity, voltage.
Right. It's all you really need whenever you're just doing something quick and dirty.
Yep.
Checks out. Good couple of wire cutters in there, I see. And
so files for new files. I have a 3D printed.
Oh, cool! Like
pen.
a 3D print pen.
Yeah.
Sick.
It's seen better days. It's falling apart.
Right. Good for plastic patchwork though, especially if it's like ABS, which was standard for all sorts of stuff.
I have a ground wire.
Smart-ish to use, but not always necessary. But
so a lot of these older newer machines have big capacitors, all big blues, and about yay big.
Yeah.
And they'll absolutely light you up.
Oh, sure.
Self-explanatory, different kinds of tweezers,
Right,
wires. Old toothbrush.
Yeah, smart to use.
Yeah, this is the drawer that's full of just various
Individual component parts and
all sorts of.
Is this all your tools that you got too? And then wow, cool. So you're effective as far as being able to work with a little amount, I think.
Right.
For sure.
Different kinds of wire. So this is magnet wire. This is more useful for like these Game Boys and Wonder Swans, PlayStation Portables.
Okay.
Yeah. So the systems that you have very little room to work with.
Yeah.
And the temperature that's going through those voltage lines isn't going to be a whole lot.
Yeah.
Then wire. Lots of flux. I keep buying flux, or not flux, solder.
Yeah.
Buy solder, thinking I'm out.
And then you always find that old school that you didn't know where it went.
And these are the
Heat shrink kits.
Yeah.
And, yep, for sure. Cool. Right on. I'm gonna kill the video.
Yeah.
The back room of where we got all the magic. Pretty sick.
So most of these CRTs just need a cap rebuild. on
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
Like this being the Pac-Man CRT.
You see the screen burn gnarly.
Right. And yeah, we have a lot of the cap kits here.
Okay.
It just requires somebody to actually
Like knows how it works and stuff. Dude, I have like easily 3-4 plus people I know who would love this.
And then the backlog room.
Wow.
And so these tags here each have either written what they know is working or what's broken.
Okay. And it's just a matter of actually being able to fix.
Yeah. So this
Dude.
is Simpsons, says no sound.
Uh-huh. So
Why-
whatever that means, and
Yeah.
wow.
So
Okay.
find the audio line, figure out why the audio line's not working.
Insane. That's so cool though.
Yeah. This one's no sound.
This is exactly the kind of jam that I've been looking for just myself, but then also a club of mine here.
Turning off the machines.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's what happens when yeah.
So this is if I remember right, it's the 12-volt line that does that.
Gotcha. What was this board for?
This is audio.
Oh, okay.
So, and the Atari, when they made these boards, are the most half-assed, quick and dirty way
Right.
to get them out.
Makes sense.
And so how these boards worked is they took voltage directly from the power supply and the wall outlet, went through audio first, and then the audio board is what split out the voltage towards the motherboard, the CRT, the joysticks, and whatnot. And so this had a whole lot of just electricity flowing through it, hence this really massive.
Yeah, I was
heatsink.
about to say, yeah.
Right. And so if you see on some of these older ones, we're not going to have to go through.
No, yeah.
But these traces are pretty superficial, pretty old, and they start baking
totally.
and peeling off. And then some traces have wires to kind of jump to repair.
Right.
But some of these other audio boards, this whole big trace here and some of these others are absolutely just the peel, the flaking off.
Totally. All right, so we're behind the cabinet of Gauntlet 2.
Yes.
There's that audio board you were showing me earlier.
Right, and so this one's also completely recapped, and resistors have been replaced, diodes have been replaced.
Right.
These two fuses, fuse 4 and fuse 5, the ones that are unoccupied, are the ones that just keep blowing, cannot figure it out. Those purple wires there are the jumper wires I've added because continuity between those traces are wishy-washy and wouldn't always connect. And so it's not the prettiest, but it works. This blue is the potentiometer that wasn't working all that well, replaced with a new one, and I think it's the same gauge from min to max on its potentiometer, 1K. I think it's a 1K. Either way, replace that and everything just starts blowing. This board had a jumper wire, this red wire between these two chips. I have no idea why it's there.
What can I say? Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard that might be standard practice in a couple of different boards before, but
These black caps here, which are the radial ones rather than axial, I replaced those more so because since I was already in the board, might as well.
yeah.
the caps are fine. One or two were kind of low on the capacitance, but
Right on.
the rest of
That's
it
crazy.
is for I've done continuity between these test points up above, and all these are the controller.
Yeah.
They all work. So at the very least, is between the power supply, capacitor's fine, here to here, but continuity between the wires is fine. 12 volt line on the board is fine. I don't know.
Yeah, wild.
Going to the monitor, it's also fine.
Right on. Very cool.